This is my mate Ron Robertson of Knott Street on the Princess Pier at Port Melbourne. We'd gone down to the pier for the annual Cup Day visit of the Australian Navy Cup Day. You can just see young Chimperwood on my back. It was 1935. I was born in Ballarat and they tell me this is me in my pram. We moved to Port when I was very young. We lived in Dow Street. The Woods lived around the corner in Little Bay. There were 11 children in the Wood family and Ron and I made it quite a mob. All those houses are gone now. I went to Knott Street School during the Depression and at age 14 started my working life. The factory only had to pay me 15 and 6 a week to polish spoons and forks. Higher education was not an option. Ron and the Wood boys worked at Tradle and Cooper's factory in Bay Street. In summer, the Woods, Ron and I would go down to the beach. Some of my mates even got a band together. Gee, they were terrible. Tommy Buckingham played piano. Well, he tried to. He later became Mayor of Port Melbourne. The Navy League had a dance down at the Old Town Pier every week. And once a year, they'd had a ball at the Town Hall with Alan Chappell's band. This is Ron and I looking our best at the 1936 Navy League ball. Sometimes we went camping. Mr. Wood had an old baker's cart, which was never used, but he could, on occasions, borrow a horse and make it as far as Little River with all our tents and gear. Starting about 1939, everything started to change. The eldest Wood boy was the first to get called up. In March 42, I joined the Air Force. It was the luck of the game, joining up in those days. You didn't know where you'd end up. The port mob was dispersed. My unit formed in the Melbourne showgrounds and moved up to the Territory. The Wood boys and their father were posted to various war zones. Ron's unit was posted to Singapore, where he was taken prisoner by the Japanese. The war was a complete fork in the road for my life. All I had was a primary school education. Owing to my Air Force training, the rest of my career was in aviation. The Woods all survived the war. The port mob kept in touch. Ron made it back, but due to the atrocities he suffered, he only lasted for a couple of years after the war ended. I still call on the remaining Wood daughter, Violet, and we talk about old times. As one of the last members of the Port Melbourne, I make tribute to my memory of our friendship.